Welcome to the newest eligible monster series for N4G TV, Lore Meets Reality. Today's episode looks at realism in Animal Crossing. As such, today's question sounds like an outrageous one. Can you just walk into a town and suddenly become a mayor? You may think that such a thing would be ridiculous, but in the game Animal Crossing New Leaf, you literally walk into a town and boom, you're the mayor. In an Animal Crossing New Leaf, the poor residents of the town were told that the next person to get off of the train would be the mayor that they were expecting. So as you're the next person to leave the train, and without checking your ID, you're elected, and boom, it's time to get to your mayor duties. Oh, and before you think that there's some kind of a giant conspiracy in Animal Crossing, the guy who was supposed to be the mayor sends you a letter saying enjoy, he didn't want the job anyway. So can you really just become a mayor of a town just like that? With enough guns, you can actually take an entire town hostage and become mayor officially by force. This, of course, would not go over too well with such things as local government, and I'm sure the local army would have a say in the matter too. But it is a fact that you could take an entire town hostage and declare yourself mayor.
This has actually happened multiple times in history. A great example would be Athens, Tennessee in 1946. The citizens of this town accused the local officials of political corruption and voter intimidation. There have been years of what the citizens felt were rigged and problematic elections, but during the August 1946 election, 3,000 World War II vets had just returned from combat. On the other hand, the local sheriff was up for re-election and had 200 armed deputies to ensure the polling booth were safe. Rioting, of course, broke out, and eventually all of the current political parties had been removed from office through force, allowing a new regime to take over. For the citizens of Athens, Tennessee, it didn't last long because within a year, traditional political parties were elected and the members of the rioting group were removed. For more information on this event and anything else we present in this video, click the link in the description below.
So as you can see, you can be elected mayor simply by using force. This, however, is a very violent way to become the mayor and definitely out of character for Animal Crossing. So why don't we have a look at how easy it would be to become the mayor or even a member of the political party? Wouldn't it be nice to just become the mayor without campaigning or putting forth any real effort? Well, that's exactly what happened to Carl Geary when he got elected post-mortem.
Quite recently, the town of Tracy City, Tennessee has elected Carl Geary. The problem with this election is that Carl died weeks before this election. Regardless of him being dead though, he received 269 of the voters versus the second candidate who only received 85. Not even a close race. The election administrator said that she wouldn't speculate as to why Geary won after his death, but stated that she did find it odd since his death was widely reported to avoid this problem.
So a dead man can be the mayor? There could have been an honest mistake though, right? I mean, that's like a one-time deal. Well, what about our next example when a small town of Dorset, Minnesota elected a 4-year-old as their mayor? The town of Dorset only has a population of around 30 individuals and has no real official government. So as a fun mock election, they chose to elect 4-year-old Mayor Bobby, with all proceeds from the election going to charity. We're sure that little Mayor Bobby did a fine job as the mayor of that little town. So let's do a quick recap here. We've shown you that you can become a mayor simply by taking over a town. You can become a mayor even if you're dead. And there isn't even an age restriction, as you've heard about 4-year-old Mayor Bobby. Seems like it would be pretty simple to become the mayor of a town, right? Well, how about we throw one more bit of Animal Crossing reality into this video before we close this discussion of lore meets reality? How about a town run by a dog, a cat, a cow, or even a beer-drinking goat?
Towns have actually been run by animal mayors. Take these examples for instance. The town of Rabbit Hash, Kentucky has been electing dogs as its mayor for years now. The most interesting fact being that one of these dog mayors apparently had been involved in a political battle with the health department. Then we have the town of Sunol, California, which also had a dog as its mayor. This was only for a short time during the 90s, and eventually they had returned to a more traditional human mayor. Or how about Brittany the Spaniel, whose campaign promised to not pee on your tires? I wonder if she was able to keep that promise. Mayors didn't stop at dogs either. The town of Talkeetna, Alaska decided to elect Stubbs the cat in 1997. And this cat is on his 15th year as mayor of the town, ensuring there are no mice throughout his borders. Don't like cats? Well, in East Sound, Washington, the residents decided to elect a cow named April into office to raise funds for charity. Sadly, this mayor passed away recently, But we shouldn't cry over spilled milk, for the town is already starting to elect its new animal mayor. For our last example, we have a personal favorite of Infected Crow. The beer-drinking goat Mayor Clay Henry III was the mayor of Logitas, Texas for years until his passing. He's remembered and seen as a stuffed goat in a mayor's mansion, which is his pen at the local trading company.
While dead people and hostile takeovers are definitely interesting, the fact that some towns have actually elected animals as mayors, I think brings us as close as we're going to get to Animal Crossing itself. There are plenty of stories of animals being mayors, and it really doesn't even take that much research to find them. Putting these fun and interesting mayors aside, we did in fact never find any stories about anybody just walking off of a train and becoming mayor. Though in most of these small towns, it doesn't seem like it would take very much effort at all, maybe like some really minor work, like you just put your name on a ballot. I mean, come on, a dead guy won after all. What are your opinions? Would you want to live in a town run by a goat? Or maybe move all of these animals into one town and make your own Animal Crossing dream a reality? I'll tell you what, if I find a real Nook in the real world, he may just end up in the bottom of a river with how much that raccoon extorts me in that damn game. I hope you enjoyed our first episode of Lore Meets Reality. Next time we're going to answer the question of, can a transplanted arm really take over someone's body? Lore Meets Reality, Metal Gear style. Don't forget to check out our complete stories if you want to know the full stories behind games like BioShock's Kingdom Hearts, Zelda, Metal Gear, or Resident Evil. We also do some improvised comedies acting out characters in games like Skyrim and Mass Effect. Oh, and there's also our Let's Play channel if you just want to come hang out with us. Thank you, and good night, Mayor of Animal Crossing. Sleep well, for you have many duties to perform in the morning, like plucking weeds and going to that island to catch bugs. I really need to go sell my bugs.